All right, what's up, guys? All right, so topic of today's video is what should we be doing during a season of isolation? Personally, for myself, I've been in a season of isolation for like a year and maybe 4 months, and it's been great, man. I finally got the time to just reflect, and I came up with three stages of isolation that I went through that I would like to share with you guys today, and hope that it be a blessing to you guys' lives. But without further ado, I'll get straight into it. But so the first thing that I went through was the first thing that I had to go through was I had to listen to God's voice. But for me to get to the point where I can even hear God's voice, I had to lose a few things. And so here's a few of the things that I wrote down. When you get put into a season of isolation, you will start to lose friends and family. You will lose jobs and start separating from people. And as you detach, your discernment may cause you to pull away from people who were once inseparable. You might lose your girlfriend. You might separate from a mother, brother, or a sister, or just any close relative, coworkers. And for me, I really just lost all of my will to socialize. It was one point where I would just go to work and not say a word. Like I was just stone faced killer, right? Um, Another thing is you will be confined to a quiet place. This place could be inside of your car. This place could be inside your room, at your house, or even a very uncomfortable place. But sometimes that's what it takes for us to finally like listen to God's voice, to humble ourselves and surrender. But this is where you will begin to see God speaking to you and notice that He was trying to speak to you long before it got to this point of isolation. And then this first stage is all about staying faithful and surrendering yourself. A good Bible verse for this is Psalms chapter 85, verse 8, and Jeremiah chapter 43, verse 4. I'll probably put it on the screen up here somewhere. But yeah, the second thing. Okay, so now we're moving on to the second phase, which is obedience. Before the season of isolation, it was probably easier to be obedient because before we couldn't really hear God's voice as good. So we would make our own rules. And me personally, my rules was just, praying in the morning and then praying at night and then asking God to forgive me for all my sins so I don't go to hell. And that was pretty much it. That was my way of being obedient to God every day. And it was very simple. But yeah, in this season, your purpose will be presented to you, and your obedience to God's instructions will further submerge you into your purpose, whether it is to intercede, evangelize, prophesy, preach, and so on. In this season of obedience, God will start like presenting your purpose to you, and you're gonna start walking into your purpose. You're gonna know what your purpose is, and if you didn't already. And a big part of staying obedient is by humbling yourself to God's will for your life and not your own, not succumbing to your own ego and to your own pride and not letting the devil tempt you with his fiery darts. And a good verse for this is for obedience is Deuteronomy chapter 27 verse 10 and Psalms chapter 128 verse 1. And I'll put all the verses that I say, I'm gonna put over the screen. But yeah, the last and final phase that I went through is the test. And this is the test. This is like what I'm actively undergoing in my season of isolation. And this is what I wrote. The last phase I went through was a long trial, of tests that I am still actively undergoing. From the start of isolation to the point of where we are at now, we have went through a lot of spiritual maturity. We went through a lot of spiritual growth. Everyone else was in this same phase with me, of course. And God has delivered us and changed us from things that we thought were impossible to be delivered from, impossible to be changed from. We have separated from most of these things and took them out of our lives completely. And as I reflect, I'm really completely unrecognizable. Like I'm not even the same person that I was not even 2 months ago. And it's honestly crazy. Like I think I said in the beginning, like when you live in the spirit, it's so crazy how much you change. Like and it's so fast. Like even in the first day of walking in the spirit, like a week later, you're already so far away from who you once were. And so I wrote, um, many days the enemy have tried to test me and see if I really changed. So that time they tried to take things away from me. They tried to like still continue to take more people out of my life. They tried to test me with temptation. I got tempted heavily in that time of my life. Honestly, like literally like yesterday, as soon as yesterday, the devil tried to tempt me. But in the name of Jesus, I had overcame it, of course. And a lot of days when I was at my weakest, it's when the enemy attacked me the most. Like whenever I was at 5%, the enemy was at 100%, and they always attacked me when I didn't feel like praying, when I didn't feel like when I wasn't high in spiritual fervor. Like that's when the enemy attacked me the most. So it was important that I prayed a lot in those times, like because that was the true test was like my faith. Because I believe the only thing that separates me from my flesh and my spirit is my faith. And so the way that I overcame, the way that you overcome any test is by having faith in God. And in this season, this is really where you start to understand that it's God's power and not your own power. Like you start to lean on God to save you from all of your battles, and you let Him fight them instead of trying to fight them on your own. This is also the season where you will start to walk by the Spirit more, and you start to separate from your flesh. You start to not gratify your flesh. And a very good verse for this is 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 13. And yeah, hey guys, that's pretty much it. Right now it's 4. Let me see. Yeah, okay, so it's 4:12 a.m. and pretty tired, but I gotta get ready for work soon. And so this is just a really quick message, really quick video. And till next time, peace.